A very good evening to you wherever you are, and welcome to a Date with a Dinner Set program 129 here on December the 11th. It's a bit nippy, isn't it, everywhere? A little bit chilly. Good evening, Kate and Matthew. Hello, Danny. Yes, of course. Very sad to hear the passing of Ruth Maddock yesterday. And so I thought we'd have the opening music from Heidi High from 1980, perhaps her most iconic role. And that music was composed by the series co-creator Jimmy Perry, who was himself a redcoat of Butlins. And so that whole series, if you remember, was based on real experiences. I know, Bethany, doesn't time fly? But I know it's blooming cold, but I hope this finds you well wherever you are. Good. I think there should be a lot of dancing going on today. I've certainly picked myself some lively ones to play to keep the hands warm. One of the interesting things this week on my various musical travels is that whilst I may have been warm most of the time, I get to either an organ or a piano and find that the keys are incredibly cold. So, yeah, that's been quite an interesting revelation. But wherever you are, whether you're watching us live, hopefully warm, with a cup of something. Oh, that reminds me. Or indeed on the catch-up, I do hope that you will enjoy this evening's programme. And as always, if you are one of our subscribers and you're in the chat room and you want to comment on the music or the composer or its context, then please do. You spotted my little gingerbread man. Yes. It is rather cute, isn't it? It was given to me with my coffee at the hotel earlier on, and I didn't eat it. I thought we'll have that on the piano. We might dunk it in the coffee a bit later. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Anyway. We will move on with the show. Please don't ask what's on the tie. It's just one of those sort of bright numbers to brighten up what has been a very grey and white and cold and frosty day. Do enjoy our show this evening. morning, Steve. Very nice to see you, chap. That was, appropriately, from the 1948 musical Kiss Me, Kate. And it was the opening song, Another Opening, Another Show. We've had that a few times before. You remember, Kiss Me, Kate is the Cole Porter musical based on the taming of the shrew, and it's sort of play within play, and that was the lively opening number. It's an absolute Mars bar of a show. There he is, Mr. Grumpy. Oh, sorry, the wonderful Mr. Cole Porter. So that was our opening one this evening. Now, you know me, I do like to be topical on this programme as much as we can, but I had to work pretty quickly on this one because less than an hour ago, very pleased to see that the Orion capsule as part of the Artemis moon mission had actually sort of broken back into Earth, and although this little bit of footage, as I say, I had to move quickly, doesn't exactly show it, I gather that it's splashed down accordingly, of course, in preparation for what is likely to be a manned flight to the moon in 2024. So there we go. You can't get more topical than that, can you? Amazing. So I hope you are managing somehow to keep warm, be it through heating, if you can afford to have it on, or blankets, or hot drinks, or all of the above, rubbing your hands together, or indeed dancing. All of the above are applicable, I think, this evening. And here's something which is a little appropriate for the weather of late. watch it for a few more seconds then, Daisy. It's a jolly sight more than we're likely to see in smug Surrey. Yes. Yes and no. Well, no, mainly. In fact, no, completely. It wasn't Henry Mancini, but it's a good guess. It's a good guess. Cold playing, yes, it is, but it wasn't Coldplay. It was, in fact, we've had it a few times, and it's one of my favourite pieces of music by this chappie. Peter Skellern, sadly no longer with us, but there he is in the 1970s, I'm going to guess. And it's an instrumental that he composed as part of his 1980 album Still Magic. A very, very talented pianist, songwriter, singer, arranger, composer, blah, 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 who became very poorly in his later years. He became a priest, I think, in 2012, shortly before he sadly passed from a brain tumour. But we have had that one before, Cold Feet. In fact, I think Hannah must be driving, but Hannah usually pipes up at this point. You see in the trailer, well, if you watch it for the show, there's a little sort of animated logo that Hannah very kindly made of my hands, the Gigi the Piano Man logo. And Hannah sent it to me and said, "What is it you're playing?" And I couldn't work it out. And apparently it's a bit of Cold Feet. So there you go. You heard it here. As always, if you haven't done so already, do remember to press the thumbs up underneath the live stream, or if you're watching on catch up, press it now underneath the video and maybe leave a comment. It's for comments that help the YouTube algorithm to find us. So obviously over in Qatar, and it's my understanding that my brother Adrian popped over to Qatar for a few of the matches. Over in Qatar, obviously the World Cup is still going on, sadly not with England and other people, but there can only be one winner, and it's all about taking part, isn't it? But obviously very sad for England to go crashing out last night. I can't say I watched all the match. In fact, I can't say I watched any of it, but I did see the result. So whoever you are now supporting, let's hope they do well in the final, which I believe is next Sunday. Yes, Brother Mark, You're a Lady. That was, I think that became his signature tune, with the brass band backing, which he very much into his brass bands was Peter Skellern. So here is something which is a little topical to what we have just been talking about, and also perhaps as an antidote to the weather. And if you need another clue, I'll have a sip of this before we start. Yes, the first official appearance of the uh, infamous, infamous prancing and dancing reindeer. Um, yes. So, as my brother very quickly typed in, well done. Brazil, composed in 1939. 1939 by Brazilian composer, pianist, band leader Ary Barroso. And it was a fairly good hit then. It became a much bigger hit in the 1960s. And one of the most famous recordings was by this man with a very suspicious hair, Mr. Ray Conniff, an amazing trombonist and band leader, who made that song very famous with his groovy backing singers and chorus. Check out that recording of Ray Conniff, if you will. I first actually came across the song properly, bit of a name drop coming here, when I was at Royal College of Music, and we were doing a concert at the Royal Opera House as the Royal College of Music Chorus. And it was there with the Prince and Princess of Wales, then Charles and Diana, and the main singer was Placido Domingo. And during the afternoon, after we'd rehearsed all the posh opera songs, he wanted to rehearse his encores with the orchestra. So he rehearsed 4 or 5, and one of them was Brazil, with the percussion going absolutely mad. And in the chorus, we were misbehaving a bit. Luckily, Sir David Wilcox didn't see us. And we were sort of doing our own little hand jives. But when it got to the actual evening performance, he didn't actually choose to do that encore, and we were most disappointed. But it's been in my head ever since. On whose head? Reindeer. I don't know. We're going to have to watch again. I take it you mean that. Oh, no. I see what you mean. Ray Conniff. Got you. Yes, so there we go. Now, whilst I sip my coffee, this coffee like that, yes, I am powered by enthusiasm and lots of coffee. But as we know, this little YouTube channel we call Gigi the Piano Man sadly will not be powered by even the most amazing amounts of enthusiasm and coffee. It needs electricity and fast Wi-Fi. Therefore, if you feel moved to make a donation, then the link is underneath the video description, coming up on your screen now, www.paypal.me/Gigi the Piano Man. Good evening, Joe. Lovely to see you. No, Alison, I was singing in the chorus, but we were having lots of misbehaving fun for that. Right, let's move on to our next song. Something a little more slow now, I think. Good evening, Auntie Ross. Lovely to see you. Good evening, David and Whale. How lovely to see you, chap. Hey, it's not bad, that little gingerbread doohickey thing, free from the hotel. I shall have to take a bag along next week, won't I, and fill up. Nobody's typed that one in. Gosh, you surprised me. That was from the 1926 composed musical Showboat by Jerome, Kern. And a bit of a controversial musical these days, but some lovely songs in it. And that was the song Bill. And you may remember, if you've been a long-time viewer of A Date with a Dinner Set, for a time we had a little succulent. We did a succulent plant, which we entitled Bill. Sadly, Bill is no longer with us because I killed it, not deliberately. But of course, it being the season, I was very generously gifted this illuminating tree for our seasonal festivities here on Gigi the Piano Man. And that's what made me think of it. Will who win? Just caught up with what you're talking about. Okay. Don't forget to like, to comment and share. It is the likes and the comments that really help our channel be found in what's called the YouTube algorithm. The more likes we get, both on this show and all the uploads, and the more comments, that's what makes the algorithm find us, which grows the channel, which helps the world, blah, 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 blah. So you know where the buttons are if you feel like doing that. Here's a golden oldie. Not just you, brother. They were indeed, weren't they? Those were the days. As sung by the lovely Mary Hopkin. And she made that recording back in 1968. But the song goes back further than that. It was composed in the 1930s and based on a Russian folk song by a chap called Boris Fomin. But it's one of those songs that once you've heard it, it really does stick on your mind. And Mary Hopkin's 1968 recording was famously produced by Paul McCartney, and it came out on the Apple label, Paul McCartney's Apple music label, and on the actual single of Those Were the Days, it says Apple II, and Apple I apparently was reserved for a recording by Frank Sinatra that never got released. There you go. Isn't it amazing what you hear. Something really made me smile when I saw it in our grim news that we get the other day, and I don't know if you saw it. This amazing little creature. Sorry. Oh, it's very cute. This tapir, I think that's how you pronounce it, which was born at Chester Zoo a couple of days ago. And aren't the markings amazing? Spots and stripes. Such greed. But a cute little creature, and almost worth a trip up to Chester to see it. Steve, I suspect, chap, that you need to whiz along your little time bar. It was Bill that I played 2 songs ago. If you whiz along your time bar right to the end, then you'll catch up with current affairs. But well done anyway. Yeah, and he cute. Anyway, back to reality, and we will go on. It's getting cold in here. We'll go on with our next song. Do you enjoy? I think it was purple, wasn't it? Now, I know to what you are referring. Erudite grammar. There is a song which I play, which we have played once before on the show, and we used that video graphic called Deep Purple, but that is not what it was. That was a song called I Got It Bad and That Ain't Good from 1941, composed, where are you, by Mr. Duke Ellington. Very lovely, slow, smoochy ballad, which first appeared in 1941 in the musical review Jump for Joy. I Got It Bad and That Ain't Good. We've had it, I think, twice in the past 129 programs. So, I hope you've been keeping an eye on my channel, because I've been busy, I have. I seem to be spending a lot of my life at the moment, when I'm not out playing live properly, actually here either recording videos or editing them for your veritatious delight. Ah, there you go. Thank you, Steve. Yes, I think you're nearly up to speed. Just keep pushing that slider along. You'll be there. I've lost my button now. Find it in a minute. Ah, here we go. So, I think you know, I hope you know, that every day in December, 25 uploads, I know I spoil you, on YouTube Gigi the Piano Man, the 25 Days of Christmas. There is a new video going up at 6 a.m. every morning until the 25th. And there are some visual treats as well as hopefully some musical ones. Just to recap what we've had this week, in case you've missed it, on December the 5th, we had Sweet Gingerbread Man, which was lots and lots of fun. And then the following day, on December the 6th, we had my slightly rich version of It Came Upon the Midnight Clear by Arthur Sullivan. And then on December the 7th, we had Let It Snow. Gosh, how appropriate. You see, I was prophetic. And I'm careful how I spelt that. On December the 8th, we had a piece called Maria's Lullaby, which was one of my own compositions, but I popped it in because it popped into my head, and it seemed appropriate for the time of year. On December the 9th, we had the African Crib Carol. If that's new to you, do have a listen. It's a really lovely lilting melody to that one. Yesterday, on December the 10th, we had the ever-popular Calypso Carol, and I had huge fun recording that one. Then this morning, December the 11th, Mary's Boy Child was the upload. So they're going up every day. Do give them a look, even if they're not your cup of tea or indeed black coffee. Do click on them, give them a thumb up. You only have to watch about 30 seconds, and that counts as a YouTube view. That would be fantastic. Good evening, Lizzie. How lovely to see you. And Lizzie, I know, and Alison, indeed, you're very good. So many of you are very good because you do watch these videos, you like them, you comment on them, and that way the YouTube algorithm helps to find Gigi the Piano Man. And I'll show you how this works. Well, I won't show you, I'll tell you. Last Sunday's upload, it wasn't exactly viral, but I was watching the numbers during the day, and it was just sort of leaping up. So something happened that day that it came into people's algorithm, and that the upload last Sunday, December the 4th, I think got about 130 views, which is wonderful. But I'm having huge fun recording these. And as I mentioned last week, it is taking a lot of time to do, but it's such fun to do. So do keep an eye out on the one. That's the second time you've used that joke, brother, and it wasn't funny the first time. If you keep an eye out tomorrow, December the 12th, there will be something appropriate for December the 12th. I can assure you, I'm getting really chilly, and I'm pretty sure I have got the heating on. How bizarre. Let's have something lively with which to warm up my hands and the cockles of your heart. That's better. My hands are warm now. Yes, indeed. As Mark and Daisy said, Captain Scarlet, the theme from Captain Scarlet and the Mistrons, originally from 1967, composed by the wonderful Mr. Barry Gray, he who composed Thunderbirds and UFO and Joe 90 and Fireball XL5 and Stingray, da 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 da. So I'm out of breath now. That was Captain Scarlet. So I hope you enjoyed that one. So do you know, it's getting a bit close, this thing, isn't it?
Only 2 more weeks to Christmas. Only 2 more weeks to go. And only when we spick and span and everything is kicking can the nose on Rudolph glow. Only 2 more weeks to go.
I can't resist that. It's so gloriously corny that it has to be done, doesn't it? But 2 weeks today we'll be in the day, won't we? In hopefully having some family time and hopefully being warm and maybe with something nice to eat as well. Thank you very much, Steve and Daisy, indeed, for that comment about my carol. Rather pleased with it, I must say. There you go. Some advice from our in-house technical advisor, Alison. But it is true. Even on a phone, you can squizzle that red bar along, and you'll catch up, unless you're in a 3G loop or banana or something. There are 2 more songs to go this evening, and we know what that means. It means we take a trip over to somewhere near Tokyo to see what our friends, the otters have been up to. As you know, we follow this channel here, the channel Kotsumet. Their link is beneath the video description, and I think they're wonderfully cute, these house otters. Oh, a good scratch in the morning, yes, why not? So here's just a little snippet of something that they've been up to this week. They seem, perhaps like a lot of us, rather reluctant to get up. We all want a pet otter, don't we? Maybe. I don't know. But as we know, these otters, Katara and Hannah, are very inquisitive animals, and very perceptive to sights and sounds around them. And there's obviously something new going on in their house, because you can see that they're on high alert. You see, some new cleaning device that Dad has purchased. Exactly. Katara is obviously used to this. What have you bought this time? And it's obviously some special floor polishing device. It must get messy, mustn't it, with otters, for various reasons. I read that they are very much toilet trained. They have their own toilet facilities, but they must get very muddy and dirty. Paws. There we go. I think some months ago they bought this Roomba, this wonderful robot, but I think the otters are a little bit unsure of it, and it's not doing what it should do, and it doesn't recognise the otters as obstacles, which is hilarious. It sort of chases them around, which is bizarre. So they must get terribly Katara's getting a bit wound up by Roomba. Oh, robot's joining in now. Don't get in the way of the cleaning, but there we go. Fantastic, Danny. Tell him from me that he must have two for Christmas if he's very lucky. So there we go. That's our little sort of weekly look at what they've been up to, and what they seem to have been up to is trying to avoid the robot Hoover, which is coming for Katara, trying to clear up. It's a huge piece of trash, but there we go. Oh dear. There we go. A little bit of madness. There we go. I will read back the comments to make it all make sense. It's quite awful. I know, it's the way I play, Alison. I'm really sorry. My hands have been cold, they have. Cold. No, I do know what you mean. We have two more songs to go this evening, so let's go on with something, again, which we might associate with the cold snap we are currently enduring. Indeed, LARA'S theme from Dr. Zhivago, the 1965 film starring, of course, Omar Sharif. That wonderful, memorable waltz melody composed by Maurice Jarre. And I look back, we've had that one twice before on the show, and I look back, and both times we've had it on the show, it was in a silly time of year, when it was sort of warm. It was most bizarre, but it seems particularly appropriate for the type of weather which we are currently enduring. A bit more snow for Daisy. I know she likes it. Yes, Judy, I do remember that. Fantastic that you did that. And a vague recollection of doing a little videoette to help. Now look, just before we go into our last song, it's all about plugs, isn't it, really? But as I say, we are quite busy here on Gigi the Piano Man, which is a good thing because we love to share our music around the world. But in case you didn't know what's going on and you want to share it on with people, then please do. But we have a number of things going on. We have 2 live events, and in particular on Saturday 24th of December, an hour of calming carols, non-stop, no chat, just lovely calm carols for an hour. Well, I hope they'll be lovely for an hour. And then on Monday the 26th, 18:30, a Boxing Day special of a date with dinner set. And that is a request show. Why not sponsor one of the pieces? In other words, buy a piece. And I have to report that as of today, December the 11th, we have had three requests already for that show. We have 7 more spots remaining. Do email me by the 23rd of December. I'm not like Royal Mail. You can keep emailing right up until that time. If you'd like to make a request, my email address is fairly easy to remember. It's ggthepianoman@gmail.com. And of course, all that is in addition to our weekly show going on here every Sunday evening. And of course, the daily uploads right up to and including Christmas Day. So we're going to launch now into our final song this evening before we say good night in our usual way. Do enjoy our little final festive furry this evening. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little festive treat. That was recorded last year at the East London Stratford Westfield Shopping Centre. In answer to your question, Alison, in theory, I'm at Westfield Shopping Centre several times during the week beginning the 19th of December, but I've yet to have my timetable, so who knows. But it's getting chilly again, isn't it? So on that note, thank you so much for being here this evening for a date with a dinner set. Do keep an eye on the uploads. Remember to give them a like and a comment and share them on. Thank you so much for being here. As always, it's been a gargantuan pleasure to play for you. Do take very good care of yourselves. Stay warm in the week that is to come. And I look forward to the pleasure of playing for you again next week. All the very best. Good night.